Aussie yen. Okay, you got tagged in the buy here. It's okay so far. It's just a pullback. I'll go with a bigger concern. Keep it a stop here, and then if it pulls back, when you would look at it 1 hour, is if this pulls back to the top here, we close the trade. But the news is coming up. I think it's US dollar based news. It really doesn't have anything to do with Aussie or yen directly. So if Aussie move, yen move, the hope is that it doesn't move this very much. It just keeps it right here, and it's still upside. But if you're not in the trade, don't put it on before the news. Okay, guys, good afternoon. I think we're live in YouTube as well. Good afternoon. Let's start. So remember, we have dollar news coming up in about 15-20 minutes. So we have very little time. We're in YouTube, so we probably wouldn't be trading this live on YouTube, because then we have to use our strategy, explain the strategy to everyone and what we're going to do. But I could give an indication to my traders what we are going to do. So let's start with what we have. We have the Aussie trade on. You're going to take this trade off, and you'll put an entry order to buy. We're still looking at the buy side of it. So if you're in this trade like me, I got in here. If you close this one and you re-enter the top, great. So we'll put an entry above the top here for a buy on the Aussie. All right, that should give us 699, probably a little higher. All right, you want to stay away from the spread getting too wide. So this trade should be out of that trade and one, because it can drop lower before it goes. Right, it can make a new low, so you don't want to be in the trade. I also took the yen trade. We took the yen under 15 minutes. I think we can just put this to break even and leave it. If it goes up, great. You don't worry about it. But if it drops, you get the trade. So I'm in this trade. I will have to put it. I'm using the account that we get for the thing. So I'm going to close the Aussie and I'll put the entry higher. And I think I got about 2 pips upside down on the Aussie because I entered earlier. And I'm just going to move the stop loss on this one to, I entered at 37, 137.37. So I'm going to go 137. I don't know. That would be 137. I got in at 137. That would be somewhere here. 38, right? So I'll just put it exactly there, because we don't have a lot. From 28 to 38 is only 10 pips. Probably close and re-enter too. That might be the best thing, because only 10 pips. That's not going to stay within the, if they widen the spread, that will be gone. Probably put it 5 pips above the top. I'm willing to give up 5 pips. So I'm going to put it plus 5 pips. So at 37, I'll put it at 47, 50, 57 would be too far. So I'll probably put it at 50. Right? So from 38 to 50, I'm going to give up that part of it if it doesn't go. So I'm just going to move my stops a little and see where that goes, right? So change the stop loss. I still think it's going to drop. Or if you don't like, you just close the trade and then we'll put an entry lower. Because you're in consolidation. Nothing might happen. It might be a non-event. So I'll just change the stop loss to 50, 37.50. And leave it there. That is in profit. That trade is in profit, but it's not the profit you're looking for. So I'll just move the stop loss and leave it. Okay, those are the 2 trades we have active. Anybody in any other trades you want me to look at? If you're in the Aussie yen, it's a cross, not necessarily that this will move a lot, right? And closing the trade here doesn't really make a lot of difference for you because you're almost at the bottom. So just stay with the stop loss there and hope that even it's a dollar-based currency, if all the dollar pairs move, it wouldn't affect this very much. So if you're in any crosses and if you're not tagged in any trade, take off the insurers, wait for after the news, and then you're going to trade. Let's go. I think I've made that part clear now, so let's go. Let's start with the dollar index. Dollar index is kind of coming down, so we're going to expect this to continue to drop. Right, so you're tagged in the US oil. Let me just take a quick look at that before we go. Oh, you're tagged in the sell. I think it's still downside, but if I mean, your stop has to be way up here, so you may want to close it and put the entry lower. This is US based. If they make a spike to the upside first, you don't want to be in the trade. So we want to be in the sell setup, but you probably decide how low you put this when you close it, right? So let's go back. Dollar index. I think this could come down more. I think there's a good chance dollar could come down more. It's not coming down aggressive. If this is going to drop, we'll have to look for a flag. So now, if you assume that's a flag, you can put an entry somewhere here for the sell, right? My traders would know what to do. We're not going to trade this. I'm not making any trade calls here. I'm just telling you how and what we do. Silver, I think, is going to go back up because we're expecting silver to come and, make a running flat or something. Now, see, probably go back up and at least go back up some, and then we'll see either a correction for a sell. Let's assume this was all the correction, right? That is all the correction. Then this would either start going back up or it would make a correction here for downside. So I still think it's upside. Now, what we can do is you can put a sell here just in case if you want, right? You can put a sell setup here in case this drops again, right? If it drops again, great. If it goes up, it's not going to tag you. There's no need to worry about it, and you just let it go. What if it just drops here, tag you slightly, and don't go out? We'll have to close the trade very quick. The strategy we use in this is a momentum strategy, but I'm not going to be using that strategy to trade here now. The installment traders have seen it. We trade it with them, right? And my traders, but we're not going to use this on YouTube, right? That is off limits. We're not going to do that on YouTube. We're going to just leave it as it is. I think this should go back up to, we're looking for buy setups. After the news, we're going to come back after 5:15. We're going to come back and we're going to look for buy setups here, right? What if it drops some more? Well, let this go. If it drops, let it go. Silver, you can put on, right? Euro, I think Euro can go back up. The bigger picture is downside, but I think very much that this could come back here and then go. So the question is, how do you get a buy setup? After the news, if it doesn't spike, we're going to put an entry order above the top here for the upside. We have a small flat there, a really small one. You can see that. This is the move up, and you're making kind of a really, really small consolidation here. And this might come here, but then it's upside. We're looking for the upside, right? If this is the drop, well, then I would just let it go. I'm not selling this at the bottom of this structure here because I explained all of that this morning. We're not going to go through it again, right? If you were not in this morning, please go watch. All the videos are recorded and they're on YouTube. So you can watch them, and you should watch them because we had a very, very short educational part in that video this morning. I think we had it twice, so you could check it. This one looks very much like a consolidation for a drop, right? If you look at this, we'll see. This doesn't have to come back up, right? The pound doesn't have to come back up now. It could make another drop and then come. In the bigger picture of things, we're going up. So if you're going to put a trade for the sell and the pound, put it under the low. If you're putting for a buy, we don't have any setup for the buy. Aussie, like I said, you can put an entry, close your trade and put an entry above the top, which is what I did. You should close that trade. Put an entry above the top, probably about 20 pips away from where the price is. So the price is at 99. You don't want them to drag you down if they widen the spread. So that's 100. You'd have to go somewhere about here if you want, right? I have to put the Aussie trade on, but I don't have, by the time if I start doing that, the webinar will be stopped. So let's wait. This one we were expecting to go. This moved quite a lot. This is very interesting. This one moved quite a lot here. So this flat here is a very interesting one. Put an entry order some 20 pips up above this, and we're looking for that trade up. Right, so we're looking for that 20 pips above the price. My traders, take note that this is a very good one because the impulse moved quite a lot. So it's a pretty good one. The consolidation is way at the top here. And that's exactly what we want for a buy setup. So if it doesn't take off now, it will probably just consolidate here, and then we're going to look for a trade. What if it drops? Well, let it drop. We don't have a sell setup. Yen, we're in the sell already. So I just moved my stop. I think I'm pretty good with that. It's safe. I actually wanted to drop some more, so it will be pretty safe. Once it drops and break that low, that will give me more than 20, 30. That will be what, more than 50 pips. And that should be pretty good. Right, so this trade, the entry for this trade was here, right? Somewhere here, right? Depending on where you got it when I posted it. And CAD, Nothing, it's not good. This might come down, but it's not coming down right now. It's looking like if this is going to make one more up. And I explained this could possibly go up a little more. So if you want to put a buy as a counter trade for this, not a bad idea. One spike, take profit. Swiss is coming down. There is a small flag here. This might drop a little. I don't know how far, but this is a little high. So they could still drop. I think we could see this come down. So this would be a sell setup if we had to trade it. Oh, that's for the majors, right? So leave this out. Let's go. S&P 500, definitely a sell. Don't let it tag you before the news. Make sure that you're under. You're a little under this, right? Don't be tagged. If you're tagged before the news, close the trade, re-enter. Same here. Don't let them tag you before the news. Put it a little lower. Wait for this. This is mostly instructions for my traders, right? You guys might want to, those who don't trade with us and don't understand the strategy I'm using here, please stay away from it, because I really don't have the time now to explain the strategy. We have only a couple of minutes remaining, right? And probably if you want to put this one, actually, there's a good reason we didn't put any trade on here. So we're still not putting any trade on this one. So we're only trading those two. US oil, same thing, it's a sell setup. This looks like it can go up a little more, but I still will go with the sell setup. And natural gas, let's see. Okay, well, if you want to take a risky buy, natural gas might be worth this one. This morning we said, let it pull back a little. It might do one of that. It could also drop to the bottom. So I would go, since it's a news-driven thing, I would go with putting the entry order under the low for the sell. Let this go up and then we'll move the entry order higher, right? Hashim, I am not sure. You're in my group? Just that we have a Hashim in my group. I'm not sure the last name. So, okay, great. I'll go through them very quick because I remember the first name. I can't remember the last. I'm going to go through them. S&P 500 sell, NASDAQ sell. Don't put oil and natural gas. Let's go to the majors. For the Swiss, I expect downside. Put it for the sell. So we're going to use Swiss as a sell. Remember these. Let me put. I'll put these. We'll change them after the news, right? So Swiss, we're going for a sell. CAD, put a counter buy. Put a counter buy on CAD. Yen, we are already in the sell. If you're in the sell, great. If you're not in the sell, don't take it. So yen, I'll put as a sell because we are in the sell already. New Zealand, it's a buy. It's a perfect buy setup. Aussie, close and re-enter. I closed and re-enter. Buy. Pound. Probably leave the pound out. Let's leave the pound out of the trade. Euro, you can put a buy. You have to put it a little higher. And the gold, it's a buy. We don't really have a setup as that good, but it's a buy. And this one would be a buy, definitely. But here's what you can do. This one is going really slow. So use it as a counter. If you need a counter, use this as a counter. If you don't have anything else to counter. But I think with CAD and Swiss, we have counter. CAD and yen, we have counter. With everything else with CAD as a counter, if you need another counter, use the silver, right? Okay, somebody's asking about the cryptos. Let me, to all my YouTube viewers, thank you for being here and welcome to this session. What we're actually, gold with the buy. Let's put gold for a buy, Hashim. So what we're looking at here now is a specific strategy we have to trade and use. I'm just giving my traders indication what to do. They know how to use the strategy, right? So they will know how to manage that trade. You have to manage it really, really quick. What we're going to do from now until the news, and the news is in 7 minutes. If you guys bear with me, it's 7 minutes. I would look at trades you want me to look at very quick. So at least 3 minutes we have to look at trades you want us to look at if you're in a trade. If you're not in a trade, bear with the 7 minutes. Once it's over, we're going to go through everything and we're going to take all the questions you want. So anybody stuck in any trade before the news that you want me to look at? If you're in YouTube or if you're here, you can go, right? We can look at it. So nobody's stuck in any trade, right? You're stuck in Nifty trade. You're in the Nifty. I don't think this news event affect your Nifty trade. So let's see. You're in the buy on the Nifty. I'm not sure because it doesn't have a complete pattern. But if you're in the buy, if you can put it to break even, put it to break even. And that's it. If you can't put it to break even, but you're positive, close the trade and wait after the news to re-enter. Because it doesn't have a setup for a buy or a sell. I think long-term it's upside or medium-term it's upside, but we don't have a setup for that right now. It's not a news-driven one. Bitcoin, we don't trade in the news, but if you're trading Bitcoin, it kind of make a pullback. Like I said, you see, you don't want to really trade these because they go there and then they drop. So if you took the trade, you're back at break even. I think this is going to drop a little more. You can see them that they're, you know, the sharpness. This one went up, drop. This went up, drop. This went up, drop. So they're going to drop, drip, drop a little more, and then we'll see what happens from there. The bigger picture of this, if this comes back to the top, right? Even if this does something like that and come back here, it could still be a bigger flat for downside because Ethereum didn't break the low. And that is why we're thinking that, you know, this breaking the low is just mostly making a running flat. See, this didn't break the low. So we're still in consolidation, right? We closed that. For those of you who are in the selling the oil, we actually, you might want, I can't tell you what to do, but you might want to close it before the news and put an entry lower, right? Because you don't want it to, in the news, this could probably make a spike first upside and then come down. So you don't want, it wouldn't structurally change anything. Even if it breaks the top and come down, it wouldn't structurally change the whole thing, right? The bigger picture is downside. So you may want to close it. Your stop, it has to be somewhere here. So you might want to close it. And the trade to the downside is pretty huge. So the best thing is to, you know, you can wait a few minutes before the news and then close it. If you think this is coming down now and you might get an advantage in it, you might even wait a few minutes and then go. All right, so let's go. So okay, guys, just a few minutes, bear with us. Let the news pass, and then for my traders to do what they have to do and regulate their trade, and then we'll go and, you know, we'll start. Anything else? We have just 6 more minutes to go. You know, anything in 6 minutes. Any questions? You guys have any questions? By the way, since we have 6 minutes, 2 things I'm going to ask you guys to do. First, make sure you share those videos that we have on YouTube. You can share them right on YouTube. If you have a YouTube thing, just share it, put it in your YouTube thing. Somebody will watch it, right? If YouTube see you're sharing it, YouTube might decide that's a good video. You should watch it to the end when you watch it, because if you watch it short pieces, YouTube think the video is not interesting. So we're hoping that you can let it run to the end, watch it to the end. If you don't want to watch the whole video, watch the parts you want and let the rest just run. Leave a comment on them. I know you comment on here, but leave a comment on the video itself after the recording, so people who are not here will know what you think about being in the live session, or you think about what we do. All right, so you can leave your comment, you can share it, you can like it, and let the YouTube engine share it to other people. All right. You can also, there's a very short, very, very short one we have. It's less than a minute on YouTube, so you can probably share that. That is where the link for all the, for joining us in this group, that is the Zoom group if you want, because we are running 2 groups at the same time here, on YouTube and on Zoom. So the Zoom group, if you want to join us in the Zoom group, you can as well, you know, register there, or you can just share that video so more people will see that it actually exists. If you want people to just come and join us on YouTube, tell them to join what time we do it, and so they can join. All right, so I'm hoping that you guys can spread the news and more people will turn out. Let's go. We still have about 4 more minutes for the news. It wouldn't make sense for you guys to trade before the news the way we trade in the 1 hour, but for my traders, they'll be using a specific strategy to trade within the news, something we do, right? We do this every time in our trading room. So they have the setups, they will make their decisions how they trade it. Yen is coming down still. Let's see. If yen is coming down still, I'm good. Yep, it's coming down. It's really nice because we're in the yen trade, by the way. And this trade is, well, close to break even. I put this stop a few pips higher than break even for me, so that I'm willing to give up a few pips if it goes up, right? But if it drops, that's a trade. I think it's going to drop. We were in the Aussie trade. We closed that, and the entry is a little higher. You want to make sure you're about 20 pips away from this. That is 66.01 to 66.19. You probably can, well, 19 should be okay. Probably a pip or 2 higher. Right? I expect this to go up. If it drops lower, I'm not interested in the sell. All right, so we've already got our trade set up, and we will be ready in 4 minutes, in 3 minutes. After 3, we need about 3 or 4 minutes. The strategy ends in about 2 minutes. The strategy only lasts for a couple of minutes once you're tagged in the trade or you're not tagged in the trade. And then after that, we'll go back to normal trading, right? So give us a few minutes. Any questions? Any other questions? Just general questions. Anybody has any general questions? We have 3 minutes. I think I should be able to be able to answer you in 3 minutes. Anything you want to know? This morning, we had a very good question. And I think in almost every video, we had a piece of educational material in there. You might want to look at it. And if you do, you will learn something, especially if you're new to wave analysis. So just hold on to what you have. And then if you bought New Zealand and you can put it to break even, do that. If you can't, close it, put the entry above, right? Or stay away from it, depending if you understand the strategy. If you don't, if you can put it to break even, do that, because I still think it's going to go up, but just in case they drop, break the low, and then decide to go back, you'll be in a loss that you don't need to take. I explained that this morning. If you were yesterday when I left, if the news was coming, normally we close everything. And then we trade the news. And after the news, we have a specific momentum strategy for the news. And after that, we go back and trade normal. Now, when we say we trade the news, I don't mean we trade the news. We trade the momentum of the news. It's called a momentum strategy. It's not based on the news. It's irrelevant to what the news is going to be. We don't care what the news is. We don't care what the outcome of the news is, which means I don't care if the news is positive or negative. We trade the patterns that we see. So I'm in a yen sell already, regardless of what the news is going to be. The yen is still a sell for me. So the news could be positive. It could be negative. It doesn't matter. Because we're not trading the news. We're trading the moment that they will use to move the market. And that's what we believe, that they're just using these moments to move the market. Right? The market has, the news has no reason. The news does not move the market. Well, it's hard to tell that to somebody who is a news-driven trader. That news is not what moves the market, but everybody has their own, their own thing. I can prove to them that it doesn't move the market, but then it's, when somebody believes in something really strong, it's going to be hard to convince them, even if they can see that you're showing them the right thing. Because we do forecast. And if all the forecasts we do, I can show you some really long-term forecasts that worked, a one-year forecast that worked perfect. Well, you would have to either believe that I know exactly what all the news are going to do within that year. Okay, I think we're moving. We're getting a very slow movement down. That's not a problem. So it's still upside. That's not affecting anything. Let's see if the yen, it's not affecting. I'm a little above that. So if it goes take me out, I'm okay. I'm not, my stop is at 50. Right? This is why you don't want to be in the trade during the news, right? You wait for after the news. So there's a little pullback, not a big deal. But you definitely don't want to be in the trade, because if it goes above this, if they break out of this and retest the top and then come back, we will still sell it. But this, we're not going with a buy in this right now. Let me see what it looks like in the 1 minute. It's upside, but it's not really making a big move. It's just, this is about how much pips? That's about 13 pips, not anything serious. I hope nobody's tagged in anything that is not going. So it's coming back down, right? That you can consider this a small flat on a lower time frame, and it's going, right? I think I'm still in that trade. Pretty much so, not taken out, so good. Let's go. We'll wait for 2 more minutes for this to settle. You want this to literally settle, and then we'll come back and we'll look at the trade setups we're in. Pong is going down, like I said. If you wanted to short the pong would be here. Right? But it's not, I don't think this one is going to go very far. So it might just tag the low and go right back up. This is the only one that didn't move up as impulsive. New Zealand did move up pretty impulsive, right? So New Zealand is still a buy. We'll come back to all of this. Don't worry with that downside. We're not selling New Zealand in here yet. Right? So I'll take all of this out. We don't need that now. And we will go. All right. Let's go. The news is over. So dollar index, it's kind of pulling back, but this is not enough pullback to break the top. I don't think this will go break the top. And even if it breaks the top, we're not buying this right now. I would not be buying it because it's not worth it. They'll just break the top and turn. So what we would expect is that this could stop here. That might be some kind of a running flat and drop. So I'll still be looking for the sell setup here. This is not a really good sell setup though. Silver, definitely a buy. Now that you've got a little flat here, you can put an entry just above this flat. It's going up really slow, but we've seen them done this before, where the first move starts really, really slow, but then it just takes off. So this little flag is still a buy setup. So we will start with this buy setup. Now, when we get into this trade, if it doesn't take off, if they keep doing this, you know, like tag you do this, tag you do this, what you can do is you can survive one of them. Keep your stop here. And once this pull back and go, you can move your stop up to this level. Once this pull back and go, you can move that stop to break even and you stay with it. Because it could do this for a while. You could follow the stop if you want. But after a while, they will do a bigger correction like this and then go. Right? If it's going to drop, you will be out of the trade for positive. So we're correcting upwards. If this is going to drop now, the question is, should we sell it? Right? If you look at the bigger picture for where we are, you can sell this one. I think this one we can sell because it's not going to go back up, right? And remember we said silver is the only one that can go all the way to the bottom. So if silver is breaking out of this structure, then we can put an entry order for a sell here. This is the closest you can get to the sell. So if this starts to break out and it's not going back up, then you can put an entry order for the sell. You'll take the buyout and you put an entry order for the sell. So basically silver right now can go both ways. We'll just have to wait to see how this structure, because this move up is really slow. Gold, it's coming down. We don't have a sell setup. I would not be selling this one at the bottom here, right? Even if this break out and go, because we are close to this low. And there's a reason why this sell is not such a good one. Silver is a better seller, and we'll explain that at the end if anybody has it, right? So this piece here, even if it's going to go, I think we stay away from it because they can just break this low and then start going back up to this top. I don't think this is all the correction. It's really sharp. So in the bigger picture, that shouldn't be a good trade. Euro, you've got a flat, right? You've actually got a really nice flat here now in the euro. So this should be one more up even, just one more up. But if it goes fast, then good. If it just goes like this and start to pull back, well, I think one will not be enough because this move down is huge. And at some point they will pull back against it. Even if they're going to continue to go down, at some point, this one will have to get a bigger correction before it drops. Because if this small one drops, they're just going to break the low and then start the deeper correction. And you don't want to be tagged in that one at the bottom there. So we're not selling this. We're looking for a buy setup. Right? So this would be an aggressive buy setup here, just above this top. Pound. Remember, we have news again at 7 p.m. We will come back and trade the news at 7 p.m. We'll come back and trade the news only in our group. We wouldn't be live on YouTube. Right? So all the installment traders will use the link for London, New York webinar. Right? We'll come there and trade it. So this one, even if it drops and break the low, we'll look for a reversal. I don't think we're selling this as yet. They have to correct. This one, you can just bring it back to this level for the buy. I actually like the buy in the Aussie and I like the buy in the New Zealand. The New Zealand is almost the better one to trade because you've got a really, really nice flag here. You've got a really sharp move up. You've got a really nice flat here. And I wouldn't be surprised if that goes. So the buy setup in New Zealand is about the best one so far. Yen, the sell is still valid. It came down back all the way to the bottom, so we'll stay with the sell. Right? Can you guys sell it here? You can, but you're a little disadvantaged now. We have it at break even. You will have to wait to get it to break even. Got it? Like I said, this could go up. We're not buying or selling this. We'll leave it alone. Take this off. If you want to know more about all these structures on the long term, watch the video this morning. If you weren't there this morning, and a lot of you weren't there this morning, watch that video. I did it on the daily, and I did it on the 4 hour, and I did it on the weekly. So you have some really, really good insights from this morning. Swiss, this piece could be both ways, which means this could go up one more. We don't buy it. We let it go up one more, and then we look for the sell. So the buy setup in this is not here. That is for all the majors. I'm going to run through some of these trades really quick, the ones we're looking at. Aussie yen, it's coming now. I don't think it's totally downside in the big picture. Let's see. I still think we're going to go back up, right? So if you're in the Aussie yen trade, just stay with the stop there. And let's see if this pulls back at any point. Most likely, I think it will be pulling back. Aussie's already going back up. This is yen just falling a little faster than the Aussie, and I don't think that's all the consolidation. It might come a little more, then go back. If it comes deep enough here and then go back, close the trade for break even. If it goes back up without going very deep, the trade is a good one. Swiss yen. We won the downside on the Swiss yen, but that pullback was pretty deep. So the only sell you probably we missed this one here on this sell here. Anybody took this sell here, but that you close it before the news. So let it come, let it make another flag. We'll try to sell it. We'll wait for this. It has to come back this much more down before it goes. CAD yen. So we let the CAD yen come down. If you don't have a sell now, it's gone. Right, this is gone. We let it come, break the low, and then we look for the buy because it's more of a running flat in this piece here now, right? We let it come. If it pulls back for a flag, then we'll sell it. The sell setup is perfect. It's going. We expect that to come down more. We just don't have a sell here now until we get a pullback. And since there's news coming again, we have CAD news in about less than 2 hours, 1.5 hours, you probably don't want to sell this. This would be a good one to trade in the CAD news. So those traders who were in my group, as well as those who are in the installment program, right? You can probably do that. For those traders who are new to us, who don't know what I'm talking about, installment program, send me a Skype message. I'll give you the details how you can have access to these live sessions every single day for free. That means you will have to join the group and say, I'm willing to do the course, but I'll pay an installment for the course. So you pay for the course, you pay an installment, but you get access. From the moment you start paying, you get access to all the free videos, all the live sessions free until you meet your payment, and then we move you to the group and you're with us. For the rest of your life, you get free access to everything we do in the group. And that is a lot. You really can't pay for that. Right? This seems to be like a consolidation here. So Euro Yen is making a bigger consolidation here, which is good. Let it come here. We have to go back up. So at some point, we start going back up for this one. Right? Once it breaks the low, we look for that. Pong Yen. It's coming down. It did go to the top there, and it's coming back down. So we might eventually go to the bottom. Take this off. Here's what we're gonna do. Since it's coming, we don't have a sell set up here, right? We have to wait for it to make a flag. Any flag it makes after breaking this low would become a sell. And if they're going down, if that is just a deep pullback, to come back to this low, we will still get a trade. So we wait for this to pull here and make a flag, let it come here and make a flag. And it makes a lot of flags, right? You see like this, see this flag here? So flags like that, we're going to take one of that and then we're going to trade that flag to the downside, right? Yes, we have 2 meetings running at the same time. Question somebody asked if I have Zoom meeting. Now we have a Zoom meeting. We have about 40 people in the Zoom meeting, and we have people on YouTube as well. Most of my traders are in the Zoom side, right? Because they actually sign up for that part. So Euro New Zealand, remember what we said, we're looking for the sell on this. So we've got a perfect sell set up here. Now let's go for this. Yesterday, we ignored the buy. Here's the deal. Yesterday, we ignored this. We said when this come down this morning, I wanted to make a flag. So everything you asked for, you got. This is like magic. This is exactly what we asked for, right? We said we would love this thing to go break the top, come down back here, and then make a flag for us. And then we're going to put an entry order to sell it with a stop above here, and we're coming down to the bottom. So you got everything you asked for. It's like magic, right? You got it. Okay, we break the top for you, we drop for you, we make a flag for you. What are you going to do now? Your choice. What you ask for, you get. What you're going to do, right? That's the big question. Well, we're going to sell it because that's what we asked for. So we're going to put a sell here. We're going to put a stop here, and we're going for this trade all the way to the bottom. Let me show this trade, by the way. For those of you who are joining us only today, didn't come here the other days, we didn't buy this for the same reason, because we think it's just going to go there and turn, and we're looking for this trade here now to come back to this level. Take the trade, put a stop above the top, and watch it here, because from this level, it can break through the bottom. And if you can manage to keep it, good for you. If you can, then we'll close and re-enter. Right? So I like this trade. I'm going to move this slightly here so that it doesn't stop the trade itself. And we've got how many hours there now? We have about 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. That's good enough for me. This is a really good small flag. It's a 15-minute flag, and we'll go with it. Your stop has to be above here. So I'm going to put the entry order in so we can manage this. I'm going to put this visually so you can manage it, the short. Put it there, put the stop above the top. And we are going to trade it first to this low. This is not where we're going to take the target. It's a one-to-one. That's not the trade we're looking for. We're looking for this trade to break out of this structure. If it doesn't break out of the structure, well, then you still get a one-to-one trade, which is good, right? A little more than one-to-one, I should say 1.64 to 1. So that is good, right? So that's the trade we're going to work with. Euros, if you sold it, just close it when it come back to break even. I think somebody asked about that. Wait for a better flag and then put an entry here. Make sure that that is a better flag you get there before you put the entry. This one is not going down as fast as we like. Euro pound, leave it alone. It's going back up. You could get another short-term buy if you want. I'm not buying it. Right? I explained the reason why I'm not buying this. But this one might be better, right? You only bought this one. You put the stop here. You got a little trade there, right? So if you're going to buy this one, put the stop here. You might get a little trade like this. And then we would look for the sell. I'll be interested in the sell setup. EuroCAD. Okay, let's see if we get a trade here. This morning I explained this, right? That this could be the top and it's coming. So we want a flag here. I don't think we have enough of a flag, and then we're going to trade this back to this low and see if it breaks through the bottom. Because we're expecting it to break through the bottom and come and retest this low. So we're looking for a sell setup here. I'll put this looking for a sell setup. Pound Swiss. This trade is still valid. Pound CAD, this trade is still valid for the sell, so we can put a sell here now. Remember, this could be a small one though. Pound Oz, you're getting a small flag here. It's moving really slow, but you have a small flag here for sell. And you're going to only expect it to probably come back here because this could be a flat to go up. So this trade, if I have to choose between the Pound Oz, the Pound CAD, and the Pound Swiss, I'll go with the Pound Swiss. Right? It's about choice, which one you like more. So it's your choice which one if you want to take. This one, I think we could put an entry order here. You don't want to put the entry order closer here, right? Because there is a high probability that this could be some kind of a running flat. This could be some kind of a running flat that goes up, right? Well, not running. It didn't break the top. This would be just a flat that goes up. So the upside, if it starts to go, we'd look for the buy. You want to stay here and wait for a flag here. If it makes a flag before this, like if they make a flag here, then we go with this trade. And then you could take this. But there's a good chance it's going to drop. And if it drops, you want it to drop through the bottom before you take the trade. And I would not be risk selling, taking it from there because the risk is too high. It's going to take you in, take you out, and then. Oil, it's a sell. So what if you had closed your trade and you put the entry here and nothing happened? We'll go back and sell it back right where you closed it. Literally, you're back in the same trade you were in. You just lost the two spreads that you lost to exit the trade and to get back in. That's all. Or you can leave it here for safety. Now let it prove it's going to go down. S&P 500 still a sell. Now you can put it closer, put it under the low. And NASDAQ still a sell, put it under the low. These were sells from yesterday. They work well. So let's hope today. We have news at 7. Maybe the news at 7 will drop this. We'll see. Because the consolidation is nice. This will also be a sell, but wait for it to pull back. This could become a buy. Now that we broke the low here, this goes up here and make a flag before 7, which is only less than an hour and a half. That's not going to happen. So it will most likely be a sell. And let's go. What else you guys looking at? DAX. Let's see. It's coming up. So wait for a flag and then buy it. If it makes a flag, we'll buy it. Right? Tesla. It's going down. Not much more for the downside because once it breaks this low here, you can start to look for one more up. Bitcoin, I think some of you asked for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is literally going sideways. Take this off. Sideways, but downside. So we don't have a buy setup here as yet, even on the 15 minutes. Right? We don't have a buy setup. This is not making a flag. This is actually dropping after you made this flag. So if you were trying to buy this flag this morning, I discouraged somebody from doing that because the impulse was too small. But if you did, you should close it for break even. You shouldn't stay with that trade. That's just my thought of how I would trade the trade. This is still going to go down because we're still in the consolidation. We haven't broken the low. We need to drop, break the low, then turn. This was a buy because we thought this one would just come and break this top. So if I was in this trade, I would close it here. Would you put the next one here? Well, that's a question depending on whether you think this is the low. I'm not sure I would have put an entry there. So now we're going to look at it this way. This big picture, we broke this low. And if this is the move starting to go up, any flag, once you break out of this, any flag here or correction becomes a buy. Because remember what I told you, this, even if this drop here, is still going to go back up. So now it didn't drop. Let's see if it goes back up. What's the big picture of this? You're in this one here, right? I think I showed this big picture a number of times. You have 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is more of the corrective piece in it. You have 1, 2. This could come back all the way to the top here. Even if this is a big flat for one more down, you are going to come back all the way to the top. That's the trade you should focus on now. Any flag here, take that trade to the top. See this one here? It went really fast. So the hope is that this goes really fast. Keep your eyes on it. This could be a buy setup. Wait for the setup. This dropped a little more. No problem. We don't have a sell setup until it actually makes a flag. You want a good flag here. And then you go for that trade. I'm in the 4 hours, so you want the 1 hour flag before you sell. Can this turn and go back up? We spoke about that this morning. It's possible. ADA, this will come up a little more. This should come back for a running flat. I see this here. This should come back for a running flat, but then it's downside. I don't see this going up totally. On the big picture of things, let's see if this can go up. Nope, very likely it's going to come and retest this low. LTC, this could go up. This could be a consolidation here that goes up. So if you're going to sell it, make sure you get a flag, sell, flag, sell, flag, sell. Any buy setup, take it. BNB. This has to go up one more. Not ready for that as yet. It will probably drop a little first. This will probably drop a little here first, and then you're looking for a reversal, a flag, and go to retest this top. Running flat, one more down, and then we'll see if it goes up. Okay, this is already XPD. This is not a good. This is Palladium for somebody who asked earlier. This is a flat. It's going to drop one more. Okay, so I ran through everything for you guys. Now tell me what else you want. So let's see. Did I miss any question while I was doing that? Restarted. I think all the entries are off for now. Yes, we are off. Everything is off. Let's see. Somebody answered you already. What's the flat you see on Euro USD, please? Euro USD, let's see. Oh, a possible running flat. We're still looking at this as a possible running flat and expanding, expanding probably. We broke the expanding flat and then making go back up there and then come down. But if it stays here long enough, we'll go with the sell. I mean long enough. I explained that this morning, not a small one, just a big one, a really big one. So this has to actually consolidate here. Go back up, consolidate, go. And if by tomorrow we get this, then we're selling it. If it goes straight back up, good for you. We're looking for the buy. Right? So that is how we treat that one. Euro Swiss. I think a lot of you are asking for the Euro Swiss. Let's go see. Somebody want the CAD Swiss. I got the CAD Swiss, so let's look at it. It's still a buy. If it tags you and pull back, it is still a buy. Right? You might have been tagged here and it's pulling back, but it's still a buy. So when it goes back this time, if it doesn't break out completely, close the trade. This next move up, if that happens, and it's likely going to happen, if it doesn't break out completely, close the trade if you're in the trade, right, Alex? Good. Let's see. YouTube, somebody is asking for GRT, USDT, GRT, USDT. I think we have that one here. Somebody asked for it over GRT, it's this one. Nope, not this one. Is it this one? Or is that a crypto? Is it one thing, GRT, USDT? Vic? Because we have some kind of a GRT here, but I'm not sure.
No, I think it must be crypto because it's versus crypto. USDT.
Okay, so that's one piece, right? GRT.
Yeah, the top one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Downside. It's the most of the cryptos are downside for now. Let's see what the bigger picture looks like. Oh, you do have a sharp impulse up, and I don't think it looks like you have anything for that. Yeah, you have a move up and it's pulling back. So this could be just a pullback. Not really. You have a sharp drop here, right? See that sharp drop? So this could still go back up one more, make a running flat, and then probably come back down. Let's see in the 1 hour what it looks like. And right now it's downside. It's still downside, right? This is still making downside. Wait for flag, sell. If it is going to pull back, it doesn't necessarily have to pull back. You already have a flat here, right? But if this goes down like that, that is a channel for upside. So you may want to also focus on when the buy is going to come, right? And what else? Katsus we did. Anything else I missed from YouTube? Sand USDT. Okay. How many cryptocurrencies are there out there? Like a 1,000? Seems like they're endless amount, you guys. I don't know how you find all of these. How many exactly are there? Anybody, any fanatical person here who knows all the things about crypto? Well, this is what we have. So this was your first up move, I would assume. So take this to be your first correction down, which means at some point you're probably going to go back and retest that though. Question is when, so let's see. The lowest point of this was here, which was very, very close to zero. Right, this one was almost at the, well, wasn't negative, that's for sure. So it was very close to zero. I'll put it like that. Right, this one is coming down, and I wouldn't be surprised if it drops a little more. I can see this is a possible running flat here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this comes here. As it comes to break this low, you're going to see a slowdown. Look for a buy setup, and then I don't think it's going to take off, but it will probably start going up. Right, so you can look for that. Can we assume that this is already the start of the up move? Because you did get a sharp move there. It's hard to tell because you don't have enough. We do have this flat here, right? That broke, you got a sharp move, you got this. If this goes back up like that and make this flat here, it's going to drop one more. So if we don't come back all the way to the bottom, anywhere here it turns, look for a buy setup. So when you break this low again, at some point it will go back up. At some point, this is going to go back up. So this is how I look at this. At some point, this here is going to make a sharp move up like this for a running flat. And then it will drop again. Once it breaks this low, look for any time. Either you get the buy setup immediately or they go and break the entire low and then turn. If you're long term. Whenever a baby born, they launch a new coin. That's a lot. But I get the thing, right? There's so much, I don't know who trades all of them. That's the whole point. The delay on YouTube is about 30 seconds. Okay, Vic, you keep me updated on that then. What they're typing, so I can answer their questions. Here's the thing. I explained that about crypto. Go back and watch all the videos. Remember, I explained about cryptos and how it works and how you should read into it. Okay, go back and watch all the webinars that I did. You will find that conversation. Actually, anyone could create a token. Yeah, that's why it's useless. If anyone could create money, it's useless, right? But it's tradable instrument. It's an instrument people are used to make money. And here is what is going to happen. Some people will make money, very few. Everyone thinks they would be the first one to grab the money and run. In reality, 99% of the people will lose money in cryptos and only about let's say 95. Let's give 5% credit to 5% of the people who will make money. So if you understand how to trade it to make money, you will make money. If you use the method we are giving you, you will make money, right? 20,000 cryptos. Wow. trading the crypto itself, if you trade it the way we trade it, it's not gambling, right? You can trade almost any one of them. You're actually stacking the odds in your favor if you trade it the way we trade it, which you wait for the impulse, you wait for the flat, and you move it to break even. So if it keeps dropping, you're out of the trade. And when you get the one that moved very far, you can move into profit and even take some profit out of it, right? That's the whole point. So if you want to learn our method, just join the group. That's the first way. That's the quickest way to learn. We'll be doing a live course in April, May, for those who would like to join us. If you don't have the money to join immediately, then you have a choice. You can start paying tomorrow. Anytime you can start paying, and you will get access to our 2 live sessions. The live sessions you're getting access to now, right? And when you meet the full set, you're moved to the group. We move people to the group almost regularly who are completing their payments. Some people start by paying 100 and they just want to get into the group. So within 2-3 months, they pay out all of they're in the group, right? When do you move to group? Well, it's all depending on what the structure is doing at a given time. Is the structure moving up slow, then I'll move it faster. The structure moves quite a lot up, it's not only when, but where would you move it, right? I would not only move it to break even, I'll move it much higher as well. So you would have to look at the patterns to decide when and how to get in and get out of trades like that, but it will still give you the advantage. You see, we got in and got out of a lot of trades. Aussie is a good example, we just did. Yen, we stayed with. Aussie, we closed. Euro Swiss sell, let's see. I think Euro Swiss is at the bottom here. Let's see. Yep, the sell is still valid. Let's see in the 1 hour. We had this flat already, so yes, this would be more of a flag. The sell is valid. You had a bigger flat here, and you're getting a flag here. So we're selling the flag. You're selling this flag, so you can put this flag for a sell and put a stop above here. So your stop would literally be above here. You're trading this flag to the downside. When it drops, we'll see how far and how fast it goes, and then you make it. It's a good one, by the way, yes. So we'll put this as a sell setup. Euro Swiss sell setup. We know where it's going, right? We're trying to come back to this low. If this comes back here, then we would have completed this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then from here, this would go out. And if we're wrong about that, we explain that. If we're wrong about that, then you'll probably just come back here, and then go. So if you're with us for a few days, you saw that pattern, right? It's working very good. So that is a trade setup. And we're expecting it to come here. We'll see how it goes. You might close that trade before it gets to the bottom here and re-enter again. Okay, what else? Punk-CAD pair. Let's see Punk-CAD. I think Punk-CAD is at the top. We have Punk-CAD and Punk-Swiss at the top, so we'll see. Punk-CAD. We're in the sell. We're going for the sell in the Punk-CAD. This one is a sell, but watch it when it breaks this low. The Punk-Swiss is a better one because when it breaks this low, it could go a little more. This is a good trade. You're putting your entry here, you're putting your stop just above here, and you're going for that trade. So the Punk-Swiss is a good one as well. Punk-Swiss, Punk-CAD sell. FSX. Somebody say FSX is the best crypto in best structure in crypto. Let's see. Anything else you guys want me to look at? Just tell me what else, so then we can.
It's FXS.
It's what? FXS. Oh, okay. FXS. Sorry. And you want it with the USDT or the USD? Let's go with the USD.
Yeah, for USDT.
The USDT, let's go with this one then. Let's see in the daily what is the best structure here you have. Okay, I don't know where this come from, but the assumption is they all came from 0, right? I think we'll go with that assumption. You kind of come here, you make a big flat here, you drop. Now I want to know where the low is. Which one of these points is the lowest one? That is pretty important. So let's go find out which one is the lowest point here. Oh, that's interesting because this is the lowest. That means this was a flat of its own here. This is kind of a correction. And we go up. So let's see, are we coming back down to retest the low before we go? We can do that, right? It could be that you just made, assuming that this came from the low, that you made a move down, you got a flat here, you made a move down, you got a flat here. This whole thing could be a big flat, and you could probably come back here before you go. So we're going to look at this piece here now, right? Let's go to the 4 hours. So here's the deal. You've got a nice flag here again. See that correction? And you got a sharp impulse up. You got a reversal and you got a flat here. So this is coming down. Here's the question. Would this come and retest the low and then go? Or would it turn from here and go? Both of those are possible, right? So all you have to do is come here and see what patterns you're getting. First, we're getting divergence already. See that? You're getting some internal divergence. Internal divergence means two things. Either you're kind of, the structure is good. I have to agree with you on that one. It has some really clear, very nice structure. So yep, you're right about that. We can look at this here. You drop. There's a small flag probably going to form here. You can drop, you can drop, you can drop, you can drop. If this starts to turn and that divergence stays there with this divergence as well stays there, look for a buy setup. It will, that might be, this might be you're starting the upside already, right? This could be the start of the upside. If the upside when it goes doesn't really go sharp, which means if you get a buy setup here, right? And instead of going sharp, it goes like this. Well, then just assume you're going to drop more and then you retest the low. Because any consolidation under here would be a retest of the low. And since we don't know which of those two it's going to do, right? If we didn't have this flat here, let's say this was the lowest point. Let me just give you my view. If this was the lowest point, I would go with this going up totally. But because we had a flat at the bottom here, that changes everything. This means you got 1, 2, 3. And this could come back all the way here because this flat is pretty huge at the bottom there. Right now, that doesn't mean it can go up. That means you watch this piece here very carefully for both sides. I hope that helps. So we've got a flat and we're making another one. Okay. You're making another flag there for a sell setup. Okay, BNB we sell. Let's see if we have a sell in the BNB. We have it at the top here. You have a sell, but I told you this morning already, it's very limited, right? You got to be careful because this is a correction, right? See the sharp impulse here? See that sharp impulse there? This could drop, it could go, it could go, it could go, it could go. But at some point, it's going to go back up like this for this one. So how far will it go? It can just drop, break this low and do that. See, that's the unknown factor, right? If you know patterns, you know how it's going to behave. You just don't know exactly when this is going to go. So you have to weigh. You have to weigh the risk to reward of taking this trade. Do I like this trade? If it does this and go back up there, would I be able to get out and get back in the trade to the upside? Or should I just let this go and then look for this trade to the upside? That's the question, right? And if you can do that, then you start understanding how to trade patterns. Aussie yen still a buy. Got tagged earlier. Let's see. Yep, we still have it as a buy. Let's see in the 1 hour. It's a deep pullback though, pretty deep. You got tagged there. If you're still in the trade, this pullback is pretty deep. Well, there's nothing you can do. Again, there's no sense closing it here now. You're not saving a lot. If this starts to go back up, then you close the trade. So if it goes back up as a correction, or if it starts to consolidate, here, close the trade. Take half of what you risk out, right? If it goes back up, it can go back up from here. Then you just stay with it. This is the pound, the yen moving down faster than Aussie is going up. Aussie is still in the upside. Aussie is still a buy setup. So we have Aussie as a buy setup. I'm going to put this as a buy setup. Right, we're still using Aussie as a buy setup here. As of now, this is still a buy. Let's see if it goes. It can consolidate a while more here. They're consolidating, so they can stay here a while more. But then we're expecting it to go up. We don't have a sell setup as yet. The only way this becomes a sell is if they consolidate here, go back up there. If this comes to the bottom and go back up there, then we'll sell tomorrow. That'll be a trade tomorrow, not today. So you join us tomorrow, you'll see that trade setup if it's a sell. As of now, we're treating it as a buy setup. Why we sold the yen? If you were in this morning, that's exactly what we told you we were going to do. Right? That we're going to take this yen back to the bottom. We're going to take this back to the bottom here. And then we're going to see from here if they go back up. So it could either go really sharp, maybe it could even come and retest this low before it goes. Right? Remember, we don't know that this is the impulse going up. We don't know that this weekly down move is finished. There's a chance it can go lower. Right? Even to be equal to the first one, they can do like this, and then they can come here and still go back up. It still will go, right? So we're looking for this piece here. If it goes, that's a big trade. So the trade you're actually looking for, just a little trade to come back to this low. If they're going to still go up, then they can just come to this level. They can just come down a little here and then go. It all depends on how it goes now. It goes fast, we'll assume they're going to break through. It goes slow. If it starts to go slow like this, you put it to break even, leave it, and then move your stop until it goes back up. So right now it's going relatively fast. Not that nothing is moving. So this is the only one moving, and it's relatively. And here's the thing: we can't lose on that trade. We can literally put it at break even and leave it. So when I'm going to step away from my computer, I'll put it at break even and leave it. It's either going to be a break even trade or it's going to give us some profit. Hope that helps you. Let's go. What else? What other trades you guys want to look at? Somebody's asking, check the CAD pairs for the news. Magic Baby, yes, you can join. You can rejoin. You have lifetime access. Send me a message on Skype. We have somebody rejoined a few days ago. Absent for 5 years. Literally, the guy was off the group for 5 years, and then he came back. He left when we weren't even in workplace, and you were in workplace, so it's much easier. Send me a message.
Or send a message to support.
Oh, send a message to support to Victor, yeah.
Support at
He'll reactivate your account. New Zealand, Swiss, and Swiss yen. Let's look at the Swiss yen first. We're right here. Just tell me what trades you guys want to look at. Swiss yen, we don't have a trade set up now on it. We had some perfect setups, but they didn't go. This one didn't go. It turns out to break even. They go back to the top. They're coming. We don't have a sell set up at the bottom here because we went back to the top. So we'll have to wait and see what this is doing. It will probably make a flat in here and then go back up, but we just have to wait for that. On the New Zealand Swiss, I think we did that. Let me see. It's at the bottom. I think New Zealand Swiss is here. Okay, if you sold the New Zealand Swiss earlier, I hope you closed it for break even in the news. If you didn't, you may want to still close it because this pullback is pretty deep. If you're looking at this as a possible running flat here, now take break even in the trade. I hope you closed it here. Right? If you did, excellent. If you didn't, then this could be a running flat. Put the entry here, put the stop here and go. So here's what you're going to do. We're going to put the entry for the sell here now. Put the stop above here. Go to the 4 hour. How far this can go? Well, they can come back to this low. So there's a lot to go down if they're going to go, right? What if they're not going down? What if this is all the correction? Let me just go back to the 4 hour again. What if this here is all the correction, like this? What if this here is all the correction and this is going to go up now? Well, then you would come to the 1 hour. Did we break this low? The first thing you want to know is that you broke the low. Yeah, you did. So put your entry here. If it's going to drop, it's a good trade. For you to buy this, this here has to make a flag here. And I mean, make a really good flag for the buy. So if instead of dropping back to the low, it actually stays here and make a flag, I think you can look for a buy setup. You need about 5 more hours for the flag, and then you can look for a buy setup. Cat pairs for the news. Do you have a strategy to trade the news? Are you in our group? If you do have a strategy, then great. If you don't, I'll just go through them pretty quick. So let's look at some of them and what you will trade. There is a risk if you don't know our strategy that you can get yourself trapped and don't manage to get out of it. So Cat Swiss, it will still be a buy, right? This one goes back up or not. If it does go back up, you close the trade. We'll still go with a buy in the Cat Swiss. All right, so the Cat Swiss will be a buy for us. New Zealand CAD looks like a buy. So that's a good counter already. You have the CAD Swiss counter and you have the New Zealand Swiss counter, right? So New Zealand Swiss is definitely going to be a buy. It depends whether we take it in this flag or whether we take it above here. We'll decide on that when we get in the trading room. Aussie CAD, it looks like we're getting a buy here in the Aussie CAD. We'll move this downwards to this flag. There's a flag forming here that might become a buy setup. So Aussie CAD buy, New Zealand CAD buy, let's see, Euro CAD. Euro CAD will get a sell. We'll have a counter to that because we'll be selling the Euro CAD. There's a small flag there for a sell for it to drop. So the only one you want now is the dollar CAD and the pound CAD. Let's go. And the CAD yen. So CAD yen, let's go. Pound CAD, sell setup. Perfect. We'll go with the sell and the pound CAD. Euro CAD. Oh, we already did that sell setup, right? So the next one you want is the CAD yen and the dollar CAD. CAD yen. We'll stay out of it, right? Because it's going, you see that went back and it's coming. We can look at this possibility for that flat. We spoke about that. So once this break the low, how far it's going to go before they go back up, we don't know. And we don't have any flag for the sell. So we'll stay away from this. And dollar CAD. Dollar CAD at the moment has a buy setup, but from now to then, here is what I want dollar CAD to do from now to 7. Now it's 6 in an hour. I want this to break the top here and reverse. So in 1 hour, if we break that up and reverse, we'll be looking for a sell in the CAD dollar. Right now, it has a buy setup, but we wouldn't be buying it. Not in the news, right? But the sell in the news is going to go. I think we did that pattern on the 4 hour and the daily before. This is what you have. When it was here, we told you this was going to go up, break the top, and then we were expecting it to come back down. So this could go up a little more, but we wouldn't buy it in the news. We'll buy it out of the news if it's going up. But if it's going to drop, if there's going to be a big move to the downside, then we would like to sell it. I wanted to actually break this top first. So from now to then, I hope they go to break the top, reverse, give us a sell setup here, and we go with that. It's a buy setup right now. Again, I wouldn't buy it in the news. I'll buy it out of the news. If you want to buy it, the news is a non-event, you can buy it out of the news. We will do the dollar pair as well when we get in trading room, right? Oh, that's why are you not in the group, Emperor? If you're watching me for 4 or 5 years, you should join the group. Here's the advantage of joining the group. It's not only you get my analysis. You're in a group of amazing people. Think of all the traders thinking alike like you. And I mean some really, really good traders. Really good, successful traders. So you get to trade with these guys at any hour of the day. So when I left the session yesterday in the trading room, one of our senior traders went and said, I'm in the trading room, join me, and all the guys who are available, join him and they trade. Before I came in the trading room this morning, there was a trader there in the trading room who said, hey guys, join me in the trading room. And so they have sessions, a lot of sessions happen while I'm not in the trading room. And these are really good traders who are making money, right? So you would want to be with them. You should try to be with them. Now you may say, I don't have the money to pay for it. Well, join the installment. In 5 years, if you joined the installment last year, you would be in the group already this year. Right? There are traders who joined last year. They paid their $100 every month and they're in the group already. Right? Some of them paid a little more than that because they just, at the end of it, they make so much money that they can pay it out, right? Okay, Magic Baby can confirm that for me. Good. So yes, you should be. It's an amazing set of traders in the group. I mean, literally, these guys are friends. And you have an advantage too. If you don't have capital to trade, you should join the group, because we have one of our trader who is working with a hedge fund and is giving capital to our traders to trade. If you can fulfill their requirements, and their requirements are very, 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 very little. It calls for discipline. If you're a disciplined trader, you can make money with them, because they don't even ask you to make a lot of money. And $100,000, they only want you to make $2,000 a month. And if you can make $2,000 a month and $100,000 trading with really, really little risk, the risk will grow as you grow, right? They will give you cash to trade, because he's from our group and he's working with a hedge fund, and he's made an arrangement with the hedge fund to give funds to capital. You don't have to pay for this. This is not one of those systems where you pay $300 and then you pay $500 and then you pay $1,000 to get their account and they just suck money out of you. Right? This one, you don't have to pay anything for it. So you should want to join the group if you're there for 5 years. And you only pay for the course. For the entire 5 years, you are going to have everything free. So think of any trader who is in my group for 5 years. He paid $2,500. So you paid $2,500 and you're here for, well, let's say 4 years. So divide that by 4. Let's say 5, because then it's just going to make it easy. We have traders who are in the group for 5 years. So 5, that is $500 a year. Divide that by, we trade how many? About 350 days. Let's say 250 days a year. We trade more than that, but I want to simplify it. So I'm going to go with 250 days a year we trade, right? So that is equal to $2 a day. How much sessions we get a day? On an average, when you come in the morning, then I come in, and then we come back. And let's say 4 sessions a day. That is 50 cents for every session. 4 years. If you add another year to that, then I'm only giving 250 trading days. We go way beyond that. Just to let you know that once you make one payment, you have lifetime access. Those who make the payment 4 years ago did the right thing. Right? So we have traders who have become so good in trading that, they left and they're doing their own thing. You want to see how many? Google wave trading. Just Google wave trading. Every single one that pop up that has a wave trading and doesn't have Elliott wave in the name, they finish my course. They will doubt it. They might tell you no, they finish my course. You don't have to ask, you know that. Even if they're doing it in French, and we have a guy who's trading in French, but he actually told his traders that he learned from me. He's the honest one. Well, because he's doing it in French. I don't know French, so he's pretty sure, those who learn in French with him cannot learn with me, right? So he's not worried about that. So he did tell them that he learned from me, because wave analysis is created by me. There isn't a second to it, right? I created it. So your chance, 5 years, my friend, you should be in the group a long time ago. Let's go. Yen is going very well. Good. Congratulations. This one is moving. You see? So for those of you in the yen trade, those who says, this is what we do. We take live trade and we answer for them. We're responsible for every single trade. Every single one of this, we go through twice daily for you and 3 or 4 times daily for my traders. So you see what we do with every trade. We don't hide anything in this group. It's transparent. It is a group of professional traders. One of the rare that you will find out there. Right? Any trader who is forced out of the group will tell you how much they hate me, but how much they like the analysis. And how much they would wish they can come back into the group. Aussie USD, let's see. You got tagged in it again? Let's see. Not tagged as yet. So it's still a buy setup. There's a small flag here, but it's still a buy setup. New Zealand is a better one. Why? The flag is much more at the top. So, and a running flat is very likely here. Remember, guys, all of these trades will have to be off before 7 o'clock. So if you're not tagged in any one of them and you're not going to be there, and I'm not going to be there to help you manage it, you probably want to wait after 7 o'clock. Because at 7 o'clock, this is what could happen. You could be tagged in this trade here and dragged to the bottom, taken out of this trade, and then watch it do that. That would be okay. That would be part of the pattern. That will not structurally change this pattern, right? There wouldn't be a structural change in the pattern. So you want to be careful before you're tagged in. What I would say is don't put it on now. Don't get tagged now. Wait for after the news and then take it. We will trade during the news. So to my traders and to the installment traders, use the link for the London, New York session that you guys have. We will join that one, not the trading room. We'll join the London, New York session so the installment traders can join us, right? Okay. Yeah, but we do that. I assume you're in India, right? Because India is where Forex is banned. I don't know about any other country, maybe it is. But you can trade. We do all the stocks. We have a lot of people from India in our group who trade all the stocks and everything. So you can trade those as well. Let's see. Could you please drop us any public free group? What does this kind of analysis? Any public free group that does this analysis, you're getting it free here. There is no public free group that anyone I know of is doing it. They're all selling my stuffs, but I doubt they're doing it for free, right? So you can check Google wave analysis. There's like 1 million of them out there right now. I'm not sure. I'm not advising you to do that because I'm not sure who you will go to and whether you will get the quality of work you're looking for. So don't take my advice and go and do that. Join one of those groups. When you start losing your account, you're going to come complain to me. Hey, I joined your wave trader guy and I'm losing money, right? Don't do that. I'm not taking that responsibility because I know a lot of them are really messing things up out there. I know that because a few people left those groups and joined my group. We know that for sure. And that is why I'm telling you, I can't advise you to do that. Let's so BNB USDT, you got it. Let's see. I think we have that one, the BNB USDT one. Somewhere here. I have the BNB USD. It's the same thing, right? It should work. I'll just show you that one. It's pretty much the same thing. So we have BNB USD. Downside, it's still a sell. It's still a sell for the downside, but you have this sharp wave here, right? So be careful, right? Once it breaks this low here, there's a chance it could go back up like that. That is this one for the running flat. So you'll have to be careful with that. Yen is going good. Aussie, New Zealand, I think in the news we'll get those straight to go. So yen during the news, we'll put it to break even, we'll keep it. Okay, what else? Intel long term. Intel, we have Intel, so let's look at Intel long term for you. Okay, give me all the trades now. I'll go through all the trades for you guys, and then, oh no, we have Tesla. We don't have Intel, sorry. I think we have Intel at the bottom here. Somebody asked for that. Let's go through. Let's see if I can find it. Intel Corporation. I think this is the one you want, right? Oh, we actually have it well structured here for you. So put it in the 4 hours. And go to the daily. You want long term, right? So let's look at the daily. Let's look at the weekly structure. It's pretty easy. I think we did this already for the long term, maybe for you. Long term, this has to come here and then go back up. This is classical. You got a sharp wave here. You got a wave going up like this. You're getting another sharp wave here, and then you're going to go up. This is pretty easy. Bottom, I don't think it will get to 8, so I would watch the bottom somewhere around the 10. Somewhere around the 10, I'll start watching. It could go a little lower, but that is where I'll start watching it, somewhere around the 10 area, right? What you're looking for is the break of this low, these lows. You want it to come and break these lows, see? So it has to come back here, break these lows, and then you can start to go back up. You will still wait for the buy setup, right? And then you'll take a trade. But this is classical. This one is easy, especially if you want to do long-term investment. You would still wait for the setup, take the trade. If you're long-term, I would wait for a 4-hour consolidation and then take the trade. So in that case, you're pretty sure you're going to be in a trade that is going to go for a longer period of time, and you can then move your stop to break even and leave it, put an entry order to sell at break even, a little above break even, and then leave it. Right? Okay, the question after how many hours is for what? I just saw a question, so I'm not sure. I just spoke about Intel, so I'm not sure what it is in relation to. Make sure you guys type what it's in relation to, because remember, when I read the question, I lost thought of what I was saying before, when you're asking the question. I am not sure what to. All right, so let's go. What else? Come on, let's go. What else you're looking at? What is everybody looking at? Yeah, because there's a delay also on YouTube. So tell me what after how many. If you're asking, but after how many hours after the news you can come back and trade, it's just a couple of minutes after. Once the news is settled, once whatever movement is happening is slowed down, you can come back and trade the long term. That's what we do. Okay, guys, anything else? We're gonna close this session. And my traders, now it's 6:30. Now I'm gonna see you at 6:40, 20 minutes.
You got one more crypto from Magic Baby?
Sorry, which one?
Got one more crypto from Magic Baby just came in.
The Dusk USDT. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. USDT. Good. It's already getting dark in my place. So yeah. That's correct, the USK. Yeah. Wow. What is this? Okay, this is weird. 15. Let's go. I'll have to go all the way to the 15 to see anything in this. Go back to the 1 hour. This is all there is to it. This is correct. Zoom meeting after how many hours? I'm not sure which Zoom meeting you're asking for. I would be with my traders in our trading room. If you're my trader, then just join the room in 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 20 to 7. Wrong exchange. Let's use Binance. Let's see.
Use Binance, yeah.
So we have it on Binance. Let's see. Okay, good. We've got more here. Yeah, you have a point. So this came from where? Let's see the daily, what the structure looks like. Oh, there's a lot here. Well, they're all at the bottom, right? So the only question you have is whether this is going to retest the low. Yes, this could retest the low. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, right? If this retests the low, it's coming back down, so they can retest this low again before they go. We'll probably go with a flat if we see it that way. Flat here, retest the low, and then go. So come back to the 1 hour and see what structure you have and go with that. It's coming down, so go with all the sells until it stops and see if it turns. Right, because I think the downside is more likely. So, okay, guys. So, everybody, take care, trade with care. I would see all of you later. My traders, I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Now it's 20 and 20 minutes time. I'll see you guys. 20 minutes. Take care, trade with care. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to share the link so tomorrow we get much more people. If they want to come on YouTube or if they want to register, either will work. And you can go watch all the videos I did because there's a lot of stuff in the videos you miss. You may want to look at. Take care, trade with care. Bye.